Motivation, dedication. I can't stop till I go the distance.
Blood Diamond Beats.
I ain't never seen that kind of motivation. Beauty scope with dedication. Name and stroll with your work is the mission. Isn't it? Don't stop till your body went the distance. I ain't never seen that kind of motivation. Beauty scope with dedication. Name and stroll with your work is the mission. Isn't it? Don't stop till your body went the distance. Have you ever wanted something so much you do anything for it? No rush, much love, it's tough, but you want it enough to do something about it, put yourself above it. Beauty scope when you take control of the movement. Do you have your goals, the position you want to be into your soul? Let's do it. You want to get out of your hole, cause you got this. Let's rock it. Head to the top, won't stop it. If anybody think they can't do it, I know you can prove it, stay positive. I ain't never seen that kind of motivation. Beauty scope with dedication. Name and stroll with your work is the mission.
And hello and welcome to the MPC show. Hello and welcome to the MPC show. And just really fast before we get into the show, we just want to go and give just a huge, like gigantic, mega thank you to everyone who's supporting the channel. And like we're just so fired up and just blessed and honored to just be here. And so we'd like to go and in fact recognize all of our patrons, which is incredible, really. And so we're going to start off with the $5 a month pledge. And so I just once again just thank you to everyone who's supporting the channel. We could not do this without you. And so I'm going to go and we're going to put some names up on the screen, and we're just going to say just a gigantic thank you to everyone. So Stacey Townley, yeah.
Kelly Rodriguez.
And then we got Mandy Howard Shell, thank you.
Andrea Fletcher.
Mariah May. Mariah, thank you.
Tim Baxter.
Tim the man. Amy Kahn, thank you so very much, Amy. Now we're at the $20 a month pledge. Morgan Sherwood.
Yeah, Morgan.
Yeah,
$45
a month pledge is Rochelle Eichste. Rochelle, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And so if you haven't gone and had the chance to support the channel and really help us on Patreon, that's going to help out towards the channel, the movement, and going to help the Housing the Homeless project that we're going to go and help benefit out. And so without further ado, I think we should probably get into the countdown. You think?
Yes.
Yeah, let's get into
the
countdown a little bit, like 10 seconds. Yeah, 9, and then 8, and then 7. And then, like, it should probably go a little bit faster.
Cinco.
Like, I wish it would go a little bit faster. Like, I don't know.
3, 2,
1. Let the show begin. And so, everyone, what is up?
Welcome.
I am Coach J.
And I am Coach D.
And we are the MPC show. Or are we the MPC? I think we are the MPC show. Like, we are, but...
We did that like, terrible. Like, let's restart.
Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the MPC show! And so we already introduced ourselves, kind of. And so right now we're going to go over we just went over part 1 of the marriage/relationship hacks.
Yeah.
Like, that was pretty, like, thebomb.com.
Yeah, so if you have not seen that,
like, you need to go and
watch that.
Watch it.
So now we have the marriage/relationship hacks part 2.
Dose. And so we kind of left you on a cliffhanger on the last episode. Like, if you didn't get a chance to watch it, you need to go and watch that episode. But we kind of left you on the cliffhanger of how to get friends and family and spouses to support your dreams, to support your goals. And, like, would you say that was something challenging for you, Coach D?
Was that something challenging for me?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, very much so.
How so?
Towards family, is family even getting on track with you and understanding the meaning behind why you're doing something and not believing in you because they haven't seen the outcome of it yet.
Right. And I think just like in present day today, there's just so many people. I know, like, my family was, like, for sure, like, one of the ones that, like, they're like, okay, well, I need to see it to believe it, right? Or, like, you know, if it sounds too good to be true, then what?
It's too good to be true.
Then it normally is. That's
so
what it is.
It's more of not wanting to put the action in behind it and just seeing it right now and laid out, besides waiting for it to come.
Yeah, and so, like, we left off on how to get over what is called the slump hump. Have you ever experienced the word
slump hump? No?
The word no.
No.
Yeah, not slump hump. Like,
I was thinking, you know what I think of slump hump? I think of hump day. Is it Wednesday?
I don't know, but hump day! Oh, man. But have you ever experienced the word no when, possibly telling the people who are closest to you about something that you desired or something that you wanted to do, something that was really far-fetched? Yeah, a little bit. Or what else?
That's stupid.
Oh my gosh,
that's stupid.
Giant, you know how many times I got told that's stupid? Or like it wasn't really like that stupid, but like it's more like
you're stupid. Yeah.
Oh, can you read?
I know. I think we must have gotten told that.
Well, just a little bit. Or
be real.
Be real.
Be real, bro.
Just kind of like sitting there. I'm just trying to think like what even classifies something as real. Have you ever sat there and thought about that or got like super
Why are you taking me there? Why are you taking me
I'm trying to take us all on a journey right now. Like, what the heck is even real, man? Oh, my gosh. And then we got, oh, my gosh, that's probably one of the biggest ones, like, in spouses for sure is we got bills to pay. Like, do you have bills to pay? Like, honey, I'm home, honey. Holy crap, we got all of these bills to pay.
You better bring homely bread.
You better get ready, because all of everything's going to these freaking bills, man. And so, lastly, we have no money.
Where'd my money go?
Where'd it go? I don't know. It kind of went out the window. But, like, I think the misconception about we have no money, I think that hinders, especially those who are married. It may not hinder, like, the friends side of thing or maybe even the family, but specifically the married people who are on here that, all of us, I'm sure you've heard that phrase that, it takes money to make money. And in some cases, but
in some cases it does not. In a lot of cases, it's how you view it and how you're putting the steps in towards that.
Yeah. And so we're going to go over how to get over this thing called the slump hump and all of these words and phrases. Now, there may be many more, but these are like the most popular ones. And we're going to show you a method that we created called 1, 2, 3. The DARE method!
So when you were in high school, did you go over DARE? DARE to share? What? No drugs.
Ton.
What? You okay?
Why? Where's the towel at? Goodness gracious. Here's one. Oh my gosh.
Why are you freaking out,
You almost made me choke. You just like caught me way.
Have you not heard of DARE?
I have heard of it, but like I didn't go there. Like I was trying to take you on, whether or not something's real or not. You were trying to take me back to high school to DARE for all things. Like hallelujah.
I can't believe you didn't think of that.
I didn't think of that.
Whoever thought of that, let us know.
Oh my gosh.
Say my name. All right, so let's go.
Look, I got coffee like in my nose right now. So anyways, we broke it down into an acronym, okay? And so this 4-step method called DARE is nothing affiliated with high school DARE or the troops or DARE, though if somebody dares me to kiss my bride, I'll probably do it. You're sick. I caught that. Maybe I'm the sick one because I caught that.
No,
I wasn't even looking at you, and my peripherals were so great. I caught her just. Okay, we're on camera. We're on camera right now. So the DARE method. So we're gonna go over the 4 steps to going and getting over this darn slump hump. To getting your family friend. There's coffee on the dang board right here.
It's okay. It's okay.
And whoever it is on the bandwagon with you to support you and help you to get to the place that you ultimately want to be. Are you fine with that? All right. Coach D, what do you got for D?
So we got that D. Declare. We're going to declare.
What is happening right now?
Come on, we can have a little fun here. All right, declare / decide.
Oh, I can't do this.
What's up? You married me.
No, you married me.
Yeah, and you better be very proud of it.
You tricked me.
All right, so first one we have declare / decide. So that's you declaring it. So whatever it is that you're passionate about or, the opportunity that you're wanting to present to somebody. You got to go and accept that yourself and believe in yourself before you go and present that to your spouse, your family,
I think it's
your
just
friends.
overly declaring and deciding to oneself. Like I'm talking on a deep level, not just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna do this today.
Like the possibility, maybe it could happen.
Yeah, Because like I think that like for us, you know, when it's come to just lines of, you know, starting our own thing or doing our own thing, it all started with that inner belief that was like abnormally strong, but it had to be wacko, like a little bit crazy. Because like, for instance, taking it back to when we started Booty Sculpt, right? So, you know, we're sitting in the apartment. We're like, holy cow, things aren't going so hot for us right now. I knew this program that I created a long time ago called Booty Sculpt had worked, but we didn't really think anything of it. And so, Don, or Coach, do you tell them what kind of happened and what kind of sparked?
It actually is over like relationship here too. So after I had Camille, I was actually going to other trainers asking for advice when my husband was a personal trainer. And he got PO'd at me and came home.
I still am.
Oh, whatever. I've definitely taken your advice over the years.
I have not forgiven you.
He came home with some ankle weights and a resistance band.
I threw them at her.
And he said, put these on and see me in the living room in like 5 minutes.
Yep.
And he took me through a Booty Sculpt workout, and let me tell you guys, I was drenched at the end of it. And I told him, I said, from that day forward, I'm not going to anybody anymore. You're going to continue doing this for me and help me meal prepping. And then it was an accident, I think, that Booty Sculpt came to be from there, though. Well, because I made a post on Facebook. I kept on losing a crap ton of weight and seeing awesome progress from him coaching me.
What was that, like 68 pounds in 3 months or 4 months, was it?
What? I lost 78 pounds. Altogether, but obviously like toning up and muscle. And I'm down 80 pounds since having the trip. It's 82 pounds to be exact. So
wow.
Yeah. But yeah, so it was kind of one of those things like, you know, when something, okay, so basically it sounded like, holy moly, this is something that could be a potential. And he had Booty Sculpt before him and I became a couple in a studio though. And then online training, this dude, he has all the crazy ideas. So if you ever need any advice on anything, go to him because he has all the awesome ideas. So that just came to be and we ran with that.
But I think kind of how it worked with like declaring and deciding and kind of like the missing piece that happened here was we were in a direct sales company, right? And we weren't making a lot of money, like barely enough money.
But we convinced ourselves in our head that we were.
Yes, like you wouldn't think for a hot minute that we weren't like man, like you would have seen us and like I would have talked to your ear 2 ways off and then back on and convinced you.
And we were so convinced that we were on fire every morning. We got up and we went and
like crack of dawn, read for a long time. Like, oh my gosh, it was nuts. But I think that like the scary point here was that we relied on that direct sales avenue so much. And like at this point, we had a baby. And like this little child, I'm calling her child right now. She depended, I mean, she don't really depend on us anymore. She probably solved it.
She gonna run us next year.
For real. But we had to decide, okay, hey, do we leave comfort? Because that was really the only thing that we had known was, hey, we take this magazine and we take this shake and then we make this shake for people and then boom, we help them. And that was our method. And so like we had, and if you're familiar with direct sales, like cool. If you're not, cool. But like we had a team under us and everything. And like, you know, to leave that form of security, it was scary. You know, and like when we kind of dove head in and we're like, you know what, like we can't be doing that. Like though that like we support, and anyone who's listening to this, watching this, we support the avenue of direct sales. Like huge. Like if you don't have you know an idea that you know you're working on right now and you need to get started like entrepreneurship, working for yourself right now. Find a company, find a product you believe in, and go.
And anybody in direct sales, I'm sure you've heard this several times.
For real, right? And it was when we kind of had, well, I mean, we had everything to lose, for sure. But I guess us and everyone watching this, like, we all had so much more to gain.
Yeah.
That's the thing that, you know, we got to look at, right? And so declare, decide, and I think the moment that we decided that, hey, it's Buddhist sculpt, we're leaving everything else behind, and we fully focused on that. Like I was listening to this thing by Tony Robbins earlier, and he's like, wherever your focus goes, your energy flows. Mm-hmm. And like that stuck with me. Like it was kind of cool that it came up today again. And wherever you're giving your most focus, because it may be that you're giving most focus to not having no money, or having bills to pay. That may be where your focus is, and then you wonder, why do I never have any money? Why do I always have bills to pay? Instead of, geez, bills are easy. I have plenty of access of money, right? And so declare and decide. What did that feel like?
When we made that
like to you, because like
I'm more of a plan person. I need to know the outcome of something. Yeah. But when I have a layout, I can go and run with that. And he's one of those that can just get thrown in somewhere and not even know where he's going and gets excited about it. Yeah. So 2 totally different personalities. But honestly, him knowing, I think it gave me that sense of comfort. That's why it's so important to express your ideas with your spouse or your family members. Even though if it may sound crazy, you'd be surprised how they get it on a different level. Because once he expressed that to me, it got me excited. And I was like, okay, you want to know what? This is going to be something. And then I found my purpose behind it. And seeing where I've come from with, growing up obese and seeing my family go down unhealthy avenues. And then I had my own child. I was like, you know what? This isn't going to happen. So right here, we're going to go and fight this together and go and help these people. So I started seeing that vision behind it. And that helped me want to go and pursue it. And it got me excited. Like I was so excited to wake up every day and go and get on the workouts and go and talk to new people and just be there to support them.
Right, and one of the things that just came to me, and it was a quote that we lived by a long time ago, maybe even still today, was that ignorance on fire is better than knowledge on ice.
Oh, I remember that one! That's so true. Yes.
It really was to a point, because like, and I think like a lot of people, they'll go and they'll get their degrees, or they'll stay steady in a position that is just comfortable, and they just use the knowledge, get frozen in the ice, and from there out goes the fire.
Yeah. Oh, that's so true. And then you lose your passion behind it.
Right. And so
because it's that sense of security, and you get so used to this repetitive
flow.
Yeah.
And because if there's one thing that we're after, I mean, just like the human makeup, right? The brain exists for one reason and one reason only, and that's not to think, not to do math, not to talk, not to do anything except survive, right? And so survival entails comfort of some sort, right? Just knowing that you're comfortable with, I'm in an environment with fresh oxygen and fresh air. And so getting out of that comfort, that's going to trigger fight or flight, and we'll go over that later on down the road. But I really think getting out of the ice, and if you have to become ignorant, then, I mean, geez, I even think to this day I'm a little bit ignorant. Like, I think it became a part.
You think? I'm just kidding.
I think it literally became a part of me, especially you. No. Probably shouldn't cross that line. But from there, that ignorance can turn into bliss, and it's going to get really portrayed as ignorance at first. You're telling everyone you're excited, you're fired up, yeah. But too many people are stopping right before they strike the diamond mine or strike the gold,
because they get comfortable.
And then I'm just going to freeze up. And I'm going to go back to what I know, a.k.a. knowledge on ice. And what I know is always going to get me the same results. No money, bills to pay, yeah, my idea is stupid, so on and so forth, right? And so this DARE method, it's going to go over like exactly what to do to break out of that. Does that fire you up?
Yes, that fires me up.
It even fires me up just even talking about it right now. So declare and decide.
Next,
we're going to next. I should write this down. I should really do this. Okay, the next. Is articulate. Articulate. I think this is the letter that, like, if there was a process that anyone was familiar with, I think this is the letter that's, or step that would be most overlooked. is that a lot of people, they declare and they decide to themselves, they're all hyped up and fired up, but where do they screw up? When they try to express it to other people, right? And they're like, oh yeah, I got this thing, I got this gig, or, I got this new idea, or, hey, I started in this company, or, you're trying to tell your spouse, oh yeah, I'm going to be a millionaire, and do this.
Yeah, because your excitement towards that is like for you, but you need to go and express that in a way to where it makes sense to them as well, because everybody's excitement towards something is totally different. So relating with them is how it leads into.
And so articulating here, okay, the how to properly articulate, aka express your idea fluently. I don't think I need to break down what fluently means, but I will. To easily understand. To speak it clearly, right? And so how you articulate, you're going to have to do some different stuff. So you can put right here, draw a book.
A book?
A book. Let's see how you draw books versus how I draw books. Let's see if we're compatible right now. It just looks like you're making a D.
Oh, that's not a D. There we go.
Okay, book. All right. And so in the process of declaring and deciding to yourself, you have to understand that, hey, I got to go to work on myself. Mm-hmm. What would you say that entails?
When we go to work on ourselves?
Yes. Most important step to do. If you had to give them the very first thing to do, that'll get them to properly articulate, express an idea fluently.
Is growing ourselves.
Okay, growing yourselves. Okay.
Yeah,
In what manner? Like what are you doing here?
There's several different manners. So if there's an avenue that you're wanting to go and pursue, whether that be like network marketing or starting your own business, and just like when you're wanting to go and be a doctor, you got to go and study and know the knowledge behind that. So therefore, for you to become somebody that's going to be communicating with other people, you need to go and study, like reading, books to go and figuring out people's personalities, which we're going to be getting into soon, and just really being able to pursue that avenue and get to understand how to go and communicate with people. Better. I think that's the main thing.
And understand right now, this is not just for network marketing or business stuff, okay?
Yeah.
Like, this is how to hack the marriage or relationship. The whole point of this is, not to sound selfish, but some of you aren't selfish enough. Mm-hmm. You're not. You're too selfless, and you wonder why, oh man, I'm getting stomped on, I'm getting taken advantage of, I'm doing this, things aren't just going my way. Man, gotta be a little bit selfish here, okay? And so, in addition to, MLM, network marketing, or starting your own business or your own idea or gig, this also pertains to, hey, let's say you want to go to Disney, and you've wanted to go to Disney for a while, but your husband's like, oh no, we ain't gonna do that, we got no money, we got bills to pay, right? Or if you're a husband and your wife, no,
this could even go. I know, I understand, but I'm saying, I want to say something really quick before I forget. So, along with this, obviously, for sharing like a business idea, etc., just like what he was saying, it's not necessarily along those lines, but if he's saying like you want to go to Disney, so therefore when you're wanting to make a decision, hey, I want to go to Disney, and you're going to express it to them here, so you can maybe go and figure out, your finances, where you're spending money, so you can go and save that up, and get more down to the grit and being smart with your money. So that's being selfish, if you want to go and say selfish.
You can take money and hide it underneath like the mattress or something away, and they don't know. Just be like, oh yeah, I kind of saved up this money, and like we can go now.
Are you taking it back to now? Is that what you're saying?
Maybe, possibly, I don't know. But anyways, articulate. How to articulate. Read more. Listen to some audiobooks in regards to whatever it is that you are trying to master. I think like the most important thing, period, is communication skills. Like, not just, oh, honey, yeah, or hey, I'm going to give you a special something if you get me to Mexico, Tell me that. That's some stuff right there. But actually learning, okay, like, hey, why is this person actually saying no? Like, and then from there, okay, they said no because of this reason. Okay, well, what triggered that? And then where does that reside in that person on a deep, deep, deep emotional level? Was it something to do with, childhood? Did they see that mom and dad were extremely frugal and they're like, no freaking way, we're not going on trips, you're silly. And they adopted that as a concept? Could that have been it? I don't know. Like, how many people have actually taken the time to go into the roots of their spouse or their friend or their family or whoever to really get to the nitty gritty? Only then, and this goes in your business and it goes in whatever else it is you're trying to do, if you're trying to get what you want, and otherwise you're going to declare and decide, yeah, cool, yeah, I'm going to Mexico. But then you're telling your spouse the wrong freaking thing. Okay, I don't care, cool, yeah, whatever. But find those soft spots. Read the books so you can know where to find the soft spots or the audiobooks, whatever. And then get it to a point to where we're going to move on to step number 3, and this is going to come in huge, which is...
Relate.
Relate.
I think I've already said that. I kind of tied them in a little bit.
You did, just a little bit.
I apologize. But it's so close because it flows in together. We talked about how it's going to flow, yo.
We did.
All
right, so relate. How does that tie?
So it really ties in here because you're relating with them. So just like what Jared said, you're going and pulling their strings, towards something that that they're passionate about. Maybe when they were a kid, they wanted to go to Disney. Or, maybe it's something that they wanted to pursue. Like him and I together, we both were obese as children, and we've been there. So with us and the company we were in when we very first got together was fighting childhood obesity at the end. So they donated meals to them. So we found that in common. And then with Booty Sculpt, it's another thing that it's like obese. So it's helping with that. And it's, it's our passion behind it. So once you can relate with somebody with the passion, and then you guys can come together and make an executive decision towards that and help them get on this part to where they can find that in themselves to be on the same page as you.
Yeah, and I think a really important spot or thing in the third step, the R, is getting to that point that you've read enough, you've learned enough, and keep in mind, you don't have to wait to start this until you've read enough or learned enough. No, remember, ignorance on fire better than knowledge on ice, right? And so be ignorant. Okay, cool. Like, yeah, what I read today? Okay, yep, I'm gonna go out and apply it. Man, I'm gonna be willing to fall flat on my face right now. But the more that you read, the more that you grow, the more that you're pouring into you, only then can you actually pour into your spouse or your friend or whoever it is, right? And so, like, yes, I just said be more selfish, but the ultimate goal here is to be selfless because, don't you want to make your spouse better or your friends better or your family better? Like, at least I do, and, bring them more quality into their life. Because, if everyone that we knew, love, and care about, could be around us, maybe not all the time, like, need my dang space, family, friends. But, just be able to go and have experiences with them and, have the fun and have the memories and everything. But, to get to the point that you can relate with them so well. Yeah. Because of everything that's already happened in the previous 2 steps, that you can break down their limiting beliefs and barriers. Yes. And so now remember, this is all a process, and it applies into your business, your relationship, like literally everywhere to get where it is that you want to be. And there's nothing wrong with getting to where you want to be, right? Mm-hmm. And so, like, a lot of people think, man, if I had $1 million, that makes me a bad person. Well, how so? Well, it only makes you a bad person if you do bad things with $1 million, right? But, there's certain laws that, and we'll get into those too, that they really perpetuate and fuel money. And just like, somebody wins the lotto, right? I really hope that they become a multimillionaire really, 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 really fast. Otherwise, in the next 5 years, it's going to go right back down to no money. It will, like every single time. And so, what's the point of having all that money You know, there is none. And so your ability to relate, connect, and communicate, and all of us can do it. A lot of people say I got a cold heart sometimes. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But when it comes to being able to relate, I've articulated enough, declared and decided that yes, okay, we're going to make a difference when it comes to the Housing the Homeless Project and people with obesity. That I don't care how I feel. It's all about relating with you, with the next person to help you get what you want. And so relate. Now, for the people who are married, because we've had this sometimes. I don't know. We ain't gonna act like we got this perfect marriage.
Oh, yeah.
I freaking love my marriage. I really do. Sometimes I want to chop you right in the throat, just like you chopped me in the throat at Walmart. You did that.
No, I thought you were gonna come out.
Oh man, it's still coming. It really is. But sometimes that there's, when starting something new, and
I'm gonna chop you freaking throat.
Chop you in the freaking throat. But sometimes I really love your slippers too.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. Little piggy ones with some wings on it. But I can only imagine that, because my mind, it never really shuts off.
No.
Right? And so there's new idea after new idea after new idea all the time. And, I can't begin to express on how many times I tell you, I got a new idea, or I got something going on, And sometimes it can cause a little bit of tension, or all right, what now? Kind of how does that, from the woman perspective, how does that make you feel? How did it make you feel back then versus now? Kind of let the viewer know, what was that process like?
For all your crazy ideas and how I've gone and coped with that.
Right.
So basically, at the beginning, as I've already kind of shared, when he had that idea and I was able to go and relate with it myself, and him, being able to articulate it with me and then leading into relate, that did really go and help me get on fire for that. And, I feel like at the beginning, though, I was in that security that we talked about at the beginning, to where I was really scared to know, since I didn't know the outcome and I'm more of a plan organized person, and not being able to see that bigger picture, or us knowing that we had to be the ones to put the step in place. It did make me scared. I'm going to be honest, but if something doesn't scare you, then why are you doing it? Not knowing what it's going to be, that's exciting. Now, but the before me, I'd be like, nope, I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying in this dark hole, and you can do it on your own.
Right.
But now, though, all this crazy ideas that he goes and says to me, I guess that since I've grown myself more, and understanding his potential behind things, and him being able to go and express this to me so much, and sharing that with me and being open about it, I go and help him. Go and ask him questions, how are we going to do this? He'll have the idea. So I'm like, okay, how are we going to put this into place? What are going to be the steps here? So basically feeding off of those ideas. So I feel like I've grown more in that aspect,
right,
and being able to go and help you, since you're the one that has all those crazy things. So, even a family member or spouse, you guys doing that together,
right,
there may be one that is more the innovative person, and then there's
sure,
one that puts that into place. Being there and going to help each other grow in that aspect.
But what if they're, because we haven't gotten to personality profiling or anything yet, and there are various types. That's gonna be great. But there are various personality types that, when it comes to innovation, that's not the strong suit.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that my thing of advice is, and what I admire about you so much, since really day one, is that after I said, oh my gosh, you gotta go check it out and say, I'm this crazy lunatic, ignorance on fire, right? That's what I was. And she said yes the first time. Every time since then, it didn't matter what it was, she saw proof in the one time. Now, it may take you 1,000 times to get to that one time that says yes, but every time, it doesn't matter what it is, it's just yes, yes, okay, yes, yes, yes. I don't think that she's ever said no. I don't think that you have, no.
And he's had some crazy ideas.
Yeah, there's been some bananas things, man. And so, if the innovation isn't there yet, because all of us have the power to innovate and create. That's why we're placed here, to create, man. Is that with where you may be. I don't know if you're there. I don't know if you're wanting to go to the next level. I think all of us aspire at some point in time to go to the next level, unless we're frozen in ice.
Yeah.
But the cool thing about ice is that it can get melted with fire.
It can unthaw.
It really can. And so is to just, after you articulate, you're expressing it, but you're taking the action to learning more. A lot of people think that learning stops after college and after high school. Yeah, I can't tell you how many people I know who graduated college that they haven't picked up a book since then, right? Is just say yes to everything. Like as crazy as that sounds, say yes. You want to go skydiving? Yes. What? That's freaking great. Yes, all right. Like if I chicken out before then, okay, whatever. But I'm saying yes to the process. But ultimately, it's up to you to get on the plane and jump, right? And so I think that these three together really, I
think for that should lead into the next one.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're talking about planes.
Yeah,
we're talking about what this is next.
Like the next.
You're talking about a plane. We're talking about
like a letter E. If you don't know what letter E is, haven't figured it out
any
yet.
guesstimate.
It's experience.
How do you spell it?
IENCE.
What?
EXPERIENCE. So, yep, ENCE.
Don't mind my writing. I'm kind of at a low ball here.
All right. So declare, decide, articulate, relate, experience. Now,
experience the vision within.
Experience.
Sounds like a commercial.
This could really hit so many different avenues here just with experience, because at the end of the day, I think all of us live for the experience, whatever that may be, right? You know, whether it's, you lose some weight and you want to have the experience of having some crazy wild sex with your spouse. You don't have to lose the weight to have crazy wild sex, but come on, man. If you're both going and being infatuated in the mirror. Hey, we're real. We're real, man. This is some real stuff, man. I don't care what these other people out there like, oh no, we need to censor some. No, man, it's real.
You just sound like yourself in 90 years.
Oh no. No, but me and
we can be British today.
For real. But if getting your spouse on board to lose some weight with you, if you start a new fitness venture, wouldn't that be freaking awesome? If both of you lost the weight that you wanted to lose, or built the muscle if you wanted to build, and you felt and looked your absolute best.
Or just having a healthier life.
What would sex
be like? I knew you were going to say that.
Well, there wasn't too many words that would come out of that. But, there's that. Or, if when it comes to your money, what would it be like to experience no more debt? What would that be like? But
it caused less stress on the marriage.
For real. Because the number one reason people get divorced is money. Money.
Gosh, so sad.
Yes.
Why did
it's a freaking piece of paper, man. And if you declare and decide, and if you articulate enough, and you relate with people enough, you're never going to go without experience.
Amen. Say it again. Say it again.
Wait. If you declare and decide, you articulate enough, you get in the books, you get to reading, you get to doing all the things, you become the version of you that you were placed here to be.
Amen.
You relate enough, you're going to have the experience. I'm talking every time. Every time. But I don't think it's just the experience side, because it's kind of like we touched on. We want to have the experience, whatever that looks like for anyone.
It can be different for everyone.
But it's being willing to experience both the highs
and the
lows with the spouse. Because you know how many times I've seen, people they're married for a couple of years and then, hey, I'm out, man.
Yeah, because they're in for the ride for the highs, but when the lows come,
times got rough.
That's where you grow.
And they're rough.
Obviously, you grow in the process of the highs as well, right. But I feel like for us, for instance, a little to relate,